Now these two files here are template files. These are templates for research papers. So one is called article review template and the other one is called research paper template. So in fact this week 1, we're doing research assignment, and our research assignment is an article review, which means we will need to use this template for this assignment. All right, so I also want to show you this resource file here. It's called How to Cite in APA. So let me just go ahead and show you this. All right, so citing in APA is actually a skill, and it's an important skill to have because in education, again, if you write a research paper, an article, you have to know how to write APA style citations. So you can check these links for additional information, but one thing I really like here that I want to emphasize is this tool called Citation Machine. So let me click on that. All right, and in this citation machine, if you're not sure how to cite in APA style, well, first you choose your style. We use APA again. All right, and then let's say you've got this book that you're reading, and the book author is, let's say it's me, right? So I write first name and the last name of the person. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm searching books here. So there it is. It's called What Am I Citing? So book, magazine, newspaper, website. Let's say it's gonna be a book. Let's click on book. And there it is. This is APA style. So author's first name, you type the author's first name here and then last name here. And the title of the book. Let's say title of the book. Alright, and then if you know the volume information, edition information, or series, you can type them here. Who's the publisher, the city of the publisher, right? You type it here, and then the state, the year. If you know the DOI number, you can also include that, and at the end, just click on Create Citation, and it's going to give you this. Of course, mine won't be actually complete, but this is how it looks so far. So this would be your APA citation. Since I didn't provide a year, it put it ND, which means not dated. But if you provide a year, it's going to show the year information in parentheses. So you can just copy and paste this to your research paper if you want. All right. So also, let me see. I think we have enough time, so I can show you maybe our library. So let's go to Office 365. I'm going to show you our NAU library. So if you go to My NAU, you can access the library under My NAU, or you can click on this EBSCO under your apps. So if you click on EBSCO, it's going to take you to our online library. Alright, and what I usually do, I select all the resources, but if you want to be specific, you can go ahead and choose education databases. We've got 2 education databases here, ERIC and Education Source. But typically, again, just to cover everything, even though I'm not in the business department, I still select everything so I can cover as much as information possible, or databases. So let's say you are talking about technology integration. So I'm going to write technology integration. There it is. And then I'll click search on this. And these are some of the information that I received. So typically, you're looking for full text information. Like on this example right here, this looks like this does not have the full text, but let me just click on this one. Maybe it has it. Let's see. Yeah, this does not have the full text. Looks like it's just the abstract of this information. So what you are looking for here, typically, you want to click on linked full text right here, and then this will update the results. Okay, I'm looking for There it is. It says PDF full text right here. So this would be the full text information. So you can read the entire article. All right. And then if you want to, let's say, cite from this article, what you would do, you would go ahead and choose, well, first of all, direct quotation versus paraphrasing. So let's say you want to cite this part of the book, right here. So if you want to copy and paste this thing, you have to make sure this will be placed in quotation marks. Otherwise, this would be called plagiarism. But at the same time, what you can do, you can paraphrase this information without the quotation marks, and that would be acceptable. What is not acceptable is direct copying and pasting. All right. So let's say you use this article as your resource in your research paper or in your discussion post. You can quickly find how to cite this article in our online library. If you click on this site right here, it's going to show you, let me see, different formats. And we're looking for APA format right here. So this is how you can definitely copy and paste this one and use this in your discussion post or your research paper. It is already formatted as APA, so you can use this easily in your assignments. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, let's see, our Moodle page. Let's go back to home page. All right, so let's see. Let's go over our week 1 discussion. So in week 1 discussion post, what I'm asking you is very simple. I want you to introduce yourself to the class. Obviously, you want to talk about your name, your school, your position, your educational background, and then some other information about you. So when you create your main post, what you need to do is click on My Reply and go ahead and type your response. And when you want to respond to one of the students in the class, you would click that student's reply right here. But this is first week, and for the first week assignment, for the first week's online discussion assignment, I do not want you to respond to peers. You can respond to peers, but it is not a requirement, so it's optional. But starting from the second week, we will need to create 2 peer responses for discussion assignments. All right, so let's see, let's go back. And by the way, this assignment is also due on Sunday, 11:55 p.m. Now, let's talk about your research assignment right here. For this research assignment, actually, I'm giving you 2 articles. So what you need to do is select one of these articles as your reading. So you can either choose the Waxman article or you can choose Dogan Almus article here. Now, I just want to ask you this question. Are you guys able to download these files with no problems? I know the first one works, but I just want to make sure the second link is active and it's working for you. Can you try to download this one, the second article? And let me know in the chat box if you can't download it. It's working. Yep, nope, no problem, good. All right, so let's take a look at the first article. So what you do, you go ahead and read this article. So typically in an article, you're going to see introduction section. And in the introduction section, you do a literature review. You talk about what the research says about this specific topic. So you want to know background information about this study that you're talking about. After providing the background information or what the other researchers are saying in this field, you typically talk about the purpose of your study. So sometimes the purpose is located within the introduction part, or like in this case, this article actually included the purpose in a separate paragraph, which is great, so you can easily locate it. Under the methodology section, you talk about why, actually, what type of methodology, what types of, for example, data collection tools that you're using. How many participants do you have in your study? And what are their demographics? What are their ages? What are their ethnicities? What are their, education experience? And that sort of information. How many of them are male and how many of them are female participants? And also what kind of questionnaire or survey you have used. And what is the reliability or validity of your survey tool that you used? Or how did you actually administer these surveys? How long did it take to administer? All that information would go under methodology. So you're looking for that information under methodology. Under the findings, typically you're going to present your results and some sort of mathematical tables or numbers, statistics should be presented as your findings. So findings are not necessarily your conclusions. Findings are actually results presented. So for the conclusion part, you talk about what these findings mean. What do they mean? How are they important? If you achieve a certain percentage, what does that mean? Does that mean a high percentage? Does that mean you achieved a certain level of success? Or, you go ahead and interpret that data that you presented in the results section. And then you give us the what's the right word I'm looking for here? Not implementation, but I can't remember that word. So you do want to give us why this set of information is important, and that's going to be your conclusion. All right, so all right, Ms. Suzek has a problem with accessing article. Which article do you have problem with, Ms. Suzek? The first article or the second one? All right, and under the references, the second one. Okay, I can email that to you. If you cannot, we'll download it. All right, after the webinar, I will email to you, Ms. Suzek. Okay, no problem. So the references will go at the bottom of your article, typically. So in this assignment, let me go back and show you the template. Here's our template. Oh, by the way, Ms. Suzek, can you try to click on this link right here under sample work? Let me see, this is the article, right? Let's see. Yes, this is the article, so that works. And here's a sample work. So let's take a look at the student sample work. All right, so as you can see, there are 5 parts in this template. The introduction. An introduction, you're looking for, by reading or after reading the article, you're looking for research questions. Where are the research questions? So again, typically right before methodology section, the research questions should be addressed. They should be included. In some studies or articles, you're not going to find research questions. If that's the case, what is the theme of the paper? So that you want to talk about that. Again, methodology, you do want to talk about what kind of tools has been used in this study in terms of conducting this study. So you want to talk about participants, you want to talk about their demographics, you want to talk about procedures, the research procedures. If they did, for example, interviews, how did they conduct those interviews? If they used surveys or administered surveys, how did they administer those surveys? You want to talk about that. Also data collection and analysis methods. All those are part of methodology section. Under the results, you do want to present, like in this case, this specific student didn't do a good job presenting the results. I would want to see more statistics or tables presented here because we do want to know results more in detail. But the discussions section and the reflection section is really, your parts. In other words, you have to write the discussion and the reflection section on your own. The rest of the parts, such as results, methodology, introduction, can be directly quoted from the article, which is fine because you're reviewing an article and you can copy and paste information from the article. But when it comes to when it comes to discussion and reflection, the last two parts, what you need to do is you need to write your own paragraph here, or your own information here. The first one is called discussions or implications. So you read this article. After reading this article, what do you think the implications for your profession? So can you use the information from the article in your profession? Or, can it be used in education? What do you think? What are your thoughts about this? So implications will be discussed under this section called discussions. Reflections is basically changes to your understanding. So after reading this article, or do you agree with the article? If you agree with the article, you want to explain why. If you don't agree with the article, again, you do want to explain why. And also, has your understanding changed? Did you learn something new? So you want to talk about that personal reflection. Here, do you want to talk about personally, how this article or the information in the article affected you? You want to talk about that under the reflection section. And at the bottom, we want to talk about references. So if you're looking for the blank template, there's this link here. I'm not sure if this one is working, but if that one is not working, the one that I showed you in the beginning, at the very top of the page, right here, should be fine. It should work. Again, we're doing article review, not this one, but this one, the first one. So let's see this template, blank template. All right, here it is. So again, you do want to write your name. You want to write your dates that you prepared this. Here's the article part. You do want to cite this article in APA format. Actually, the way I listed under the assignment description is already APA formatted. You can simply copy and paste that here. Introduction section has two subparts: purpose of the research and research questions. The methodology, you need to talk about these. Results, again, these are coming from the article. However, discussions and reflections are your sections, and you have to write these sections on your own. And at the bottom, you need to include any references. But again, for this article review assignment, there's no need to do references because you are only referencing one article, which is cited here. So, all right. So at this point, let me take questions about this article review assignments. Any questions?